Well, we're back at it again. Double G's Garage. Gonna get a little bit of work done on the 69 convertible today. Well, there you go. Nothing very pretty here, but I got the baling wire secured, and I just put some of the blue brake hose in there. I couldn't find a piece of I'd rather have a piece of the fuel line, but again, until I can get a new baling wire, these things, once they get tweaked, it's a piece of metal, piece of wire, and it's even if you get the new ones that are chrome, they're chroming kind of weakens the metal, and they'll be loose too. So I'm getting ready to go to the Bug Bash here in a couple weeks, and I'll pick up some used ones till I get one that's a little bit stronger. But that'll stop my oil leak for now, and I got my heater hose hooked back up. And I'll show you this in a little while, but what I'm fighting here is these heater hoses. This car was a barn find. Been parked since '83. These heater hoses inside the car they're packed full of acorns. And I did not want to remove, because everything was so stock on this car. I didn't want to take it off because, it's got crimp connectors. It's got all kinds of stock stuff that normally gets thrown away over the years with these bugs. You never see them that are in stock form like this. So I didn't want to uncrimp that band clamp that's up front there. and take that out. So I guess we're going to be blowing acorns everywhere and trying to suck it up with the vacuum cleaner, but I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a little while. But yeah, we got pretty much all the rear stuff that I've been putting off doing put back together. We got the heater cables hooked up and throttle cable hooked up, brake lines hooked up, fixed that oil leak on the baler there, and lubricated all the cables. So now we're just gonna keep working our way towards the front with the goal of hopefully getting all the fuel system and brake system in and bled this weekend, and then we'll have this thing where it'll run and stop on its own. So it's getting kind of exciting. Again, I still got to do seats and all that, but for now, we're making some progress. So stick with us, be back in a minute. So just a quick question for everyone. What are you guys using for spares when you're running these Impies? So you know, with these Impy wheels, they're different lug nuts. So kind of give me an idea. Sorry about the noise. Give me an idea what you guys are running for spares on these. I mean, I'd love to be able to run a stock wheel in the trunk, but I don't know. Will these? I don't think these lug nuts will work. Maybe they will now that I've got disc brakes on it. But some of you guys that have been through this, you know, give me a comment. Let me know, what are you running for spares? You know, I could always go to the Bug Bash and buy a used Impy. Of course, then I'm probably going to have to put a 145 tire on there so it'll fit in the spare tire well. But, you know, I'd love to know what everybody's running for their spare. You know, I'd like to keep the stock tires so I could keep the windshield washer tank and stuff on this. But will it bolt up? I guess I need to try it and see if it'll bolt up with these lug nuts. I hate to have to carry, you know, extra wrenches, extra lug nuts, all that, but I guess that's an option. But yeah, you know, hit me up, let me know what you're doing. And you guys that are worrying, no, that's not the final torque. I'm gonna get a torque wrench out when I get it back on the ground and torque these back up. So here's what I was talking about earlier. And I should have cleaned this out a long time ago. I don't know if I can. Oh yeah, there you go. My heater tubes are completely packed full of acorns. So yeah, I got to get all that out of there somehow. So that'll be one of my next projects. And then I got to remake these metal tubes that go to these wonderful cables right here because I replaced the pans. So I've got some brake line, I'm gonna make those. Okay, got the brake fluid reservoir in, ran the metal lines all the way down to the master cylinder, and yeah, I know I got a mess of wires here that I still got to clean up, but one more step in the right direction, right? Get that back together, and now I can put some fluid in there and go ahead and bleed the brakes out. And then the next thing I'm gonna jump on is putting this tank together. You know, I was just talking to my neighbor. He stopped by actually to loan me some brake fluid. Thanks, Jerry. But I was just telling him, you know, this is probably the nicest shop I've ever had a chance to work in. I'm sitting here, it's about 80 degrees outside, sunny, and I'm sitting here in the air conditioning with a lift working on a car. And that's something I'm not used to because not just at home, but, you know, all the years that I spent in dealerships, we never had air conditioning. We never had those luxuries. So it's pretty nice. Just thought I'd mention that. So we're getting ready to bleed these brakes. So let me show you what I'm doing here. And of course, while you're doing this, you need to keep checking your master cylinder reservoir to make sure that it doesn't go empty or you get to start all over again. So we'll go ahead and top this off, and then we'll keep bleeding. One thing I should have mentioned when we started on the other side is, first of all, You don't want to spill any brake fluid on any painted surfaces because it's very corrosive. And that, you may already know that, but for anybody that's not done this before, if you do spill it, you want to rinse it off immediately because it will take the paint off of pretty much anything. And then you want to start with the wheel that's furthest away from the master cylinder. So in this case, master cylinder, of course, is on the driver's side front. So you want to start with the passenger side rear, and then you move to the driver's side rear, then the passenger side front, and then the driver's front. And that way you get all the air out of the system. So always start with the one that's furthest away. So let's go ahead and do the driver's side rear. Well, here we go. I guess you can see day 2 of this project. Day 1 didn't go as well as I expected, so we moved along to putting the tank together. So we're going to get the sending unit in it, get the whatever you call it, the little connection in the bottom put in, get it, the seal put around it, and get it put back in the car. As far as bleeding the disc brake conversion kits, oh man, probably a quart and a half of fluid, and pretty most of the day yesterday monkeying with that, and still don't have a good pedal. But another good tip: don't buy the empty pedal clusters for your Beetle. Junk. Them things are terrible. So that's what I've got in this car. I tried to replace the pedal cluster with a new one. It doesn't line up right. The stops aren't any good on it. It's flimsy. It's already making noise, and it acts like it's bending already. So anyway, we threw in the towel for that. We got on the Samba and we ordered a refurbished, rebushed pedal cluster off of there, and that's what we're going to go with. So again, we're going to keep plugging away at this project. We're going to come back to the brakes later. I've got just a little bit of pedal, and I'm using that vacuum brake bleeder that I showed you, and still not working. So we're going to try some different things. I may have to pull the front calipers off and turn them over so that I can try to get all the air out of it. But it really doesn't. It's not spongy. It just dives to the floor. So it acts like there's no fluid pressure, but when I mash it to the floor, it is applying the brakes because the car won't roll, but there's no pedal. So again, I think I'm gonna have to. I've looked up some stuff from EMPI on those when you do the 4-wheel disc brake conversions, and they basically tell you to bleed it every way you know possible. So bleed it the old-fashioned way with someone pumping the pedal, bleed it with a vacuum brake bleeder, bleed it with a pressure bleeder, and then go from there. So that's what we're going to try. Again, it got a little bit ridiculous yesterday, a whole quart and a half of brake fluid with the vacuum bleeder, and still didn't come around. So but we'll keep plugging away at it, and I'll show you here in a minute some other stuff we get done today. Well, that about does it for this episode of Double G's Garage. We got the gas tank in, we got the emergency brake in, still don't have any brake pedal. But let me go ahead and show you. I did clean up the wiring in the trunk, so hang on, I'll show you what I did. Well, there you go. Just covered it all up with some carpet. Looks perfect. All right, so anyway, thanks for stopping by. If you like what you saw, keep stopping by Double G's Garage. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that like and hit that subscribe. And hey, we'll keep on working on this project. We'll see you next time.